Good morning or good evening if you're the other side of the world, which some of you are. They're on my Facebook page. Welcome to my second Facebook Live, and I'm not too sure what the lighting's like, but it's such a beautiful bright day and my house is full of windows, so hopefully you can see me or not. So today I just want to talk about self-esteem, and my business, as many of you know, is Change Your Mind, Change Your Reality. And in order to feel good about ourselves and to have self-esteem, we need to actually change our minds. And our minds are extremely powerful, and there's so much research going on now that everything is all how you think and what you say. And so self-esteem is all about what you think about yourself. And it's actually very hard with today's society, with everything we're seeing on the media, even with Facebook, but with magazines, newspapers, TV, that everybody has to be perfect. And we're looking at all these men and women with perfect bodies and perfect lives, and we're all striving to be that perfect person or to be what we think is perfect. And yet if you ask any of them if they're happy or if they feel confident about themselves, every single one would say there's something about them that they'd like to change. Well, there's lots of things about them they would like to change. And Marilyn Monroe was remembered saying that the reason that she wanted to be famous was because as a child she was adopted, and she wasn't allowed to call her adopted mother mum. And she went to the park and played with lots of friends, and her sister was allowed to call her mum. And when she tried to call her mum, she was told, "No, darling, you can't call me mum because I'm not your mum." And when she went to the park and saw these other kids all calling the woman in their lives mum, she felt very different, and she felt that she didn't belong. So she was reported in the media to say, the reason I want to be famous is because I need to belong. I've never been loved, I've never belonged, I've never fitted in. And unfortunately, she died still feeling that she wasn't loved and she wasn't fitting in, although we know now that so many people loved her. And it's the same with Princess Di. You know, they felt that they weren't loved, they felt that they weren't enough. Yet when you look at the amount of adoring fans they had, to us it seems inconceivable that they could think that. But a lot of it goes back to our childhood, and when we're babies, we're born and we know we're lovable. I mean, I remember as a child putting on plays, you know, with friends and getting your mum and dad to sit and watch, and you just fool around. And honestly, if you looked at it now, you'd cringe. But as a child, you would say, "Look at me, aren't I wonderful, aren't I clever?" And you get a round of applause for just using the potty. I mean, you knew when you were brought into this world that you were lovable, you were enough, and you were amazing. And throughout our lives, from different people's opinions, we begin to lose that, and that's a real shame. I mean, you don't see a baby saying, "Oh, my nan said my knees are chubby, quick, cover these up, I'm not going to wear that short baby grow anymore, put me in a long one because I've got chubby knees," or "Don't put that nappy on me, it makes my bum look big." I mean, it's just crazy that when we get older, just a single comment that someone can say can make you so conscious of yourself and actually think that you're not enough. But this is what happens, and more the voices in our heads are telling us that we're not good enough, whether we're in a work situation, you can't do that, you're not good enough, or whether it's our looks. We're constantly being told or judging against these so-called super people that have it all and trying to reach that. But really, we just need to understand that we're pretty amazing people. Everybody's amazing. And as we're a bit older, we understand a bit more about our uniqueness. And that's what I love. I mean, I'm pretty kooky, I'm pretty mad in some places. And you've got to embrace that uniqueness and know that, you know, if you were the same, wouldn't life be boring? I mean, I love my circle of friends. Everybody is really different, and they've all got different things about them that I love. So if they were all the same, I'd be pretty bored. So we've just got to learn to understand that uniqueness is important, and to actually, you know, make a point of enjoying that. So can you imagine, just imagine this scene now. You've arranged to meet a friend in a coffee shop, and she turns up and she's a really good friend of yours, and she says to you, "Hi, oh my God, it's ages since I've seen you. God, you've put on some weight though. Girl, you shouldn't be wearing those jeans." Or, "Hey, look at that muffin top hanging over your jeans, mate. You need to do something else. You've been happy drinking lots of beer, I guess." Or if they then said, if you sat down and said, hey, look, I wanted to meet you today because I wanted your opinion. I'm thinking of applying for this position. And it's a job I'd really love to do. I've been thinking about it for a long time and I'm really excited. And they said to you, oh, no, I don't think you should apply for that. You're just not good enough. You haven't got the qualifications. You don't know enough about it. You're just going to look a fool if you go for an interview and they're just going to go, well, there's just no way, mate. You don't cut the mustard. I mean, how would you feel about that? Do you think you would stay friends with that person for very long? You'd be pretty hurt and pretty gutted. But we do that to ourselves all the time. So what's the difference? I mean, we look in the mirror and we berate ourselves all the time. If there's something we want, we'll tell ourselves why we're not good enough to have it. And we allow that. And it's crazy. If it was a friend, you'd soon get rid of that friend pretty quickly. You wouldn't put up with that nonsense. You'd tell them what you think. Yet it's okay for us to speak like that to ourselves. So what you need to be doing is actually taking note of some of those things you're saying to yourself and actually just hit the delete button. So pretend you've got a computer in front of you, and when that word comes in your head that, well, you're not enough in any way, just go delete. And actually look at it and say, is that really true? Because 97% of the time it isn't. And as it is, it doesn't really matter either. And I guess that's one thing I've found as I've got a bit older. I don't really care so much what people think. And when you're at school and when you're younger, it's really important that you fit in with the tribe and that you're the same as everybody else. And then as we get a bit older, we tend to find things in people that we like and dislike, and we follow ourselves and change ourselves to fit in, but maybe in a different way. But we need to just laugh at ourselves a bit more, and just take life less seriously. But take seriously what you want. Take seriously what you can achieve in life. And if someone says you're not good enough for that, just go watch me and go for it. They don't know you. It's just an opinion, and their opinion is often wrong. So it's all about thinking good about yourself and knowing that you are good enough, whatever you do. You haven't changed. From the day you were born, you were a beautiful baby boy or a beautiful baby girl that had the world in front of you, and nothing's changed. You don't see babies and young children who have got disabilities hating themselves because they have disability. The only reason they start to find that an issue is as they get older and they listen to other people say that they're different and that they've got a disability. And I remember listening to one person on TEDx once who was blind, virtually completely blind. She could just see shapes and things. And she'd gone through most of her life not knowing she was blind. Nobody had told her, and she didn't feel that she was any different to anyone else. And it wasn't until later on that she went to school that the teachers commented, and she had meetings with the parents that they eventually told her. And it was all downhill from there. She started to lose faith in what she could do. Stuff that she found really easy, she lost the faith in being able to do it. Going for a walk on her own, she lost her independence because she was suddenly told, you're blind, so therefore you can't do this, this, and this. Whereas she'd done it previously with no problem. And it's just other people's opinions that can make a difference to our lives that we need to stop listening to. And like that friend in that cafe that I just told you about, you don't have to fall out and never have anything to do with them if they're a good friend of yours, but you just have to learn to go, maybe they've got issues. Maybe they're jealous that I'm going for this position, and maybe they're not happy in their own job, but it shouldn't make any difference to your decision. If that's what you want to do, then go for it. I mean, these top athletes that get the Guinness Book of Records, that surpass all research, that they can run at certain speeds or jump certain heights, they don't let other people's opinions stop them doing it. And they go out to prove that, I'm a bit different, and I'm going to prove that I can do this. And whatever you put your mind to, you can do. And your mind is amazing, and your mind does exactly what it thinks you want it to do. And there's the key there. So if you're constantly telling your mind you're not good enough, it's going to go, okay, let's prove to you that you're not. But if you're constantly telling your mind that actually this is what I'm going to do and nothing's going to stop me, like these top performing athletes, like these entrepreneurs that won't take no for an answer, your mind's going to look at every single possible way that it can find to get you to achieve those goals. And it will work with you. but you've got to hit that delete button. And that delete button is my best friend, because as soon as I hear those voices saying that you can't do this, or you're not good enough, or you're getting older and looking in the mirror and seeing these extra lines and wrinkles, you can't hit the delete button and get rid of the wrinkles, but you can say, hey, look, there's a lot of people out there that haven't got to this age. There's a lot of people out there that have got to this age and are maybe not mobile anymore. Maybe they're in a wheelchair. Maybe, they're in hospital going through some awful treatment. So what's a few lines and wrinkles when I should just really be grateful that I've got to this age and I'm fit and healthy and happy? And look at things a bit differently. And when you look at your body, if you have extra weight, again, look at it as in, hey, it shows that I'm lucky enough to be able to afford to eat food as I want to. Yes, I may want to be a bit slimmer, but I'm healthy and I'm lucky enough to be able to afford food. So get your mind thinking in a different way. Stop it from belittling you and making you feel really bad. And if people give you a compliment, and that's one of the things I also find hard, when I give someone a compliment and say, hey, you're looking great today, or I love what you're wearing, or that haircut really suits you, and they go, oh, no, I don't really like it, or it's just one of those things. Actually say thank you to that person. Actually take that comment on board, because not everybody goes around easily giving comments. People don't make comments on you just because they feel like it, and it's, well, maybe I do, but they're always true comments. Just take it on board and actually say thank you, and allow yourself and your personality to accept and enjoy those compliments, and to realize that you're actually a really great person. That people like you for who you are. And if you've got flaws, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. And it's like a puppy. So can you imagine bringing home a little puppy, a little dog that you've just got from the pet shop, and he's all bouncy and loving and fluffy, and he's coming up to you and he's saying, look at me, aren't I adorable? Just pick me up and give me a cuddle. And you go, oh, no, go away, I'm too busy. And then he comes back up to you again, and he's got a toy in his mouth, and he goes, look what I've got, aren't I clever? Look, can't you see how clever I am? And you go, oh, go away, you're really annoying. I haven't got time to play with you right now. All these living dogs are a pain in the bum. And he comes up to you again, and he's all excited and wanting to go out and wants to play and licking your feet and just telling you how much he loves you, and you push him away with your foot and say, go away, I just haven't got time for you. After a while, that little puppy's going to just slink away in the corner, put his head down and go, well, I thought I was lovable, I thought I was pretty adorable, but obviously I'm not. Obviously I'm not as lovely as I thought I was. And that puppy's going to become shy, and he's going to become withdrawn. And it's just like us, when we're constantly belittled or told we're not good enough, we're frightened to make that move again. We're frightened to let down those barriers in case we get knocked back. And so it's time to stand up tall and go, you know what? I'm good enough as I am. And I'm not going to let people put me down. I'm going to hit that delete button. I'm not going to let me put me down. And that is your biggest enemy, is yourself. It's you that puts you down. And I hear it so many times. My clients that I have, I would say 97% of them are in the not enough stage. 97% of them are coming to me with phobias, fears, depression, or wanting the motivation to do something, and the reason they're lacking that motivation or they're feeling depressed is because they don't feel they're good enough, because they've taken on board everybody's suggestions and everybody's opinions throughout their lives that actually, nah, you're not worth anything. And it's my job, and what I'm loving about my career is actually proving to them that they are, and helping them to talk to themselves better, and helping them to talk to their minds and tell their minds that they're incredible and that they can do whatever they want to do. And I love it. The results I see are absolutely amazing, from 12-year-olds to 88-year-olds. And I just love seeing them changing their lives. And they do have to listen to a recording. I do a recording for them every day. They have to listen to that, just again to reiterate that they are worth something, that they're, whatever it is that they're striving to achieve, or whatever habit they're trying to remove, whatever habit they're trying to create, It's telling the mind over and over again that you can do this, that this is easy for you. And once you convince and tell your mind repetitively, it actually gets it. It actually understands that, so this is what I want. Oh, so I am worth something. Oh, so I can do this. You've been telling me all this time I can't, so I wasn't going to try. But you're now telling me I can. You're now telling me this is what you want. This is what you're passionate about. This is what you want to achieve. And this is how the athletes and the people in entrepreneurs or whoever with great businesses or people that are in the spotlight, this is how they get there, because they tell themselves 100% that this is what I want and I'm going to achieve it. And whenever people knock them back, they just don't take any notice. And it's the great lesson that we could all learn. We all need to learn how to not take any notice of other people putting us down. And even at sometimes just putting your hand up and going, hey, you know what? That's your opinion. It's not mine. I've just not taken it on board. So choose your friends lightly, but choose you more. And when you're talking to yourself, that is the most crucial time. And most of the time, we're not even aware of it. We've sort of learned to live with just this chatter going on in our head and not actually listening to it.